Oh, and we're back again. Bigger Talks, IG Live edition. Financial Fridays. I think this is going to be a new topic. I think financial literacy is very, very important, people. We can talk about followers, talk about fame, you can talk about being liked and loved, but we have to normalize a conversation around our financial matters and about money, as well as our mental health, because our EQ, emotional intelligence, is usually affected by our money and our mind. But I have a special guest today, Annalisa Mungcal. She's a friend of mine. She's very intellectually sound in the financial sector. She's a financial advisor, and she actually helped me set up some retirement accounts a few years ago. And she's given me so much information, books, and knowledge on financial literacy. So she's gonna come on. I'm gonna introduce her, and we're gonna talk about money, and investing, saving, and all these beautiful things. So thank you for joining us, and it's gonna be special. Hey,
Hey, how
how's
are
it going?
ya?
I'm phenomenal. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Thank you for joining me on Bigger Talks.
Thank you
IG
for having
Live.
me. Can you hear
Yeah,
me
so
okay?
yeah, everything's
Good.
we're great. Yeah,
Wi-Fi sucks up
it's
here, but hey.
all right.
Okay.
We good. We prayed about this,
Okay, good,
but
good, good, good.
everyone, watching and listening. This is Annalisa. She's amazing, financial advisor and expert. So before we get started, can you kind of give the people a little bit about what you do and what field of expertise from the financial space that you're in?
Yes, yes. So basically what I do is I do retirement planning, investment planning, and business planning. So it's either with individuals or maybe, companies. And the beauty about my business now, or my company, I should say, so I was a financial advisor for a wealth management company for 12 years, right out of college, right out of business school. And at that firm, I could only help the wealthy.
Oh,
Yeah. So you had
so
to have 2 million to invest with me.
so there's companies that are intentionally out there just to help the wealthy.
Yeah. So they're money management companies. That's what we did. We had a minimum of 2 million. And now I can help middle America. So basically, I don't have a minimum. So
Yeah,
it's more rewarding. I love it. I've been here for about 7 years now. So that's why I'm here.
got it.
And it's based on financial literacy. It's basically getting people educated and sharing information that's out there that I really didn't even know. I didn't even know it coming from the finance background. So
Yeah.
yes.
And from a natural perspective, why do you think financial literacy in the general space, why is it not a number one thing we educate people on in schools,
Mm-hmm.
or a number one thing that we talk about as friends, acquaintance, family members? Why is that not why is it such a touchy or taboo subject for some of us?
You know, it starts with mindset. It starts with
Okay.
mindset, how you grew up. There's those phrases, money doesn't grow on trees, money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
First, you have to work on your mindset. So a lot of people, what is your relationship with money? You know,
Yeah.
and money is greedy, like things like that. You have to kind of ask yourself, what is my relationship with money? And also it's not in a lot of schools. I don't have the
Ooh.
statistics in front of me, but we need financial literacy in high schools, I think, because the minute you get to college, you're getting credit card companies reaching out to you, then you're going to be in debt. People don't know about this. A lot of parents don't speak to their kids about money. So there's a lot going on there, and
It's important because 2 weeks ago I ended my savings challenge that I was pushing out for
I
10
saw
weeks.
that.
You're gonna
Yeah,
save $25 every week, so you're gonna end up with $250.
right.
So $250 is not a lot of money, but this is the thing what I'm trying to get people to understand. Everybody wants the big bucks, right? But we
Mm-hmm.
have to learn to get to build a habit to understand how to have a better rapport and relationship with money.
Exactly.
So, and I think what happens is people, they don't have no structure around money. They may have structure around work. They may have structure around their outfit, how they get dressed. They might have structure around their social media account, but we don't have structure around money. So, say for instance, right? I have somebody, say for instance myself, say $250, and now I'm like, okay, what do I do with this money, or what could I do with this money to get some type of return on the saving? Because it's only $250, but I want to make some money off my money. What is the first thing a person should think about if they have some money saved and they want to put it to use? What should be the first rule of mine?
Okay. So when you say put it to use,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that?
Like I want to invest my money in it with the intentions of potentially making some money off of it. It can be 5%, 10%, 20%. I just want to have a vehicle that if I save this money, or maybe I should put it into a fund account and just save it for the year. I don't know. I'm just trying to give people information about, because there's a lot of people who save money, but it just sits in a bank account.
Exactly.
And it's not really making no interest. So from your side, what should a person, a middle American young guy, maybe he's 25, he makes $18 an hour, and he has a little bit of money, he just want to put it to use. What should he do?
Got it. So one thing you have to think about is, so if you're saying a young guy, right? So we want to make our money grow for us, right? We want our money to work for us. So what does that mean? One, we have to outpace inflation, right? So right now, inflation is, from the last time I saw, it's almost 7%, right?
Yeah.
It's at a high. It's crazy right now. Look at gas prices. Look at everything that you used to buy. It's gone up. Everything has gone up. Even I don't know, like groceries, everything. Everything has gone up. Gym memberships. I was just at a gym. I was like, oh my God, it's that much now. So it's inflation. That's what you want to do. You want to outpace inflation. So what does that mean? That means you have to put it in an account that's going to outpace. So that means you're going to have to get a rate of return that's at least 6 to 7% to outpace it.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So is that the bank? No. Generally,
hold on.
Not going to be the bank.
Right. It's not the bank, but we think we should put our money in the bank. Why shouldn't we put our money in the bank?
Why do you put your money in the bank? But because it's safe, right?
Okay.
It's safe. That's the number one rule of thumb, is it's safe. And that's what people mostly know. They don't know about other things. So it's really just they don't know. They don't know. Right. They haven't sat down with a financial planner or a professional. And a lot of people don't do that because they think it costs money, right? But there are financial professionals like me, anyone in my company, we don't charge. Yeah.
Oh.
My old firm, we did. So it's just seeking information, and we do financial literacy classes. So, you just have to kind of get out there, and, I'll share my information later, but it is just because people don't know. I mean, the bank is, hey, I have money in the bank. I'm not saying don't bank, because the bank it's liquid. You need money. If you need money right away, you put in the bank, right? And you need an emergency fund at the bank. So any other investment is not going to be liquid. A lot of them are, but if you have access to you have to have maybe I recommend 6 months at least of savings for an emergency fund.
Okay. 6 months of savings for emergency fund.
At least. It depends on everyone is different. So 6 to 12 months, look, the pandemic happened and a lot of people were unable to work, so were you saved up for that, so things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, take it back to the bank. So you said, we all have our money in some type of bank, but outside of the bank, if I have some liquid, some cash that I want to kind of invest somewhere, where money that even it's secure, or I know I can get some type of return on it?
Right. Okay. So great question. If you're young, I assess this. I say, what's your risk tolerance? 1. Like, are you comfortable losing money? because a lot of investments are high risk, right? So you have your stocks, you have now crypto, you have EFTs. Those are high risk. Those are gambles because you don't have guarantees on that. Then you have index accounts, which you do have guarantees on, right? So index accounts could be through a life insurance policy. It could be through an annuity. But there are stipulations. There are, there are certain things that you have to qualify for.
Right. So what is an index account? Because at least where I was raised and born, words, frighten some people. Right. Because they don't understand the terminology.
Right.
Well, like we know the stock market where you can invest in stocks and stuff on a S&P 5,000 or 500, I believe. But what is an index fund?
Okay, so an index fund. So I helped you with an index fund, right?
Okay.
It can be through maybe a life insurance policy. It's called an index universal life. Right.
What I got, right?
You got that. It's a permanent life insurance policy, but it's also, there's two parts of it. There's almost like a savings plan in there that can grow, and it's guaranteed. I mean, there's no loss. There won't be any loss for you. It mirrors the market versus it plays in the market, right? So it's just mirroring the market. And what I mean by that is that there's a floor. So there's a floor, meaning you're not going to lose any money. And then there's a cap rate, meaning if the market goes up maybe 30%, you're capped at maybe 15%. So that's what an index account looks like. So that's if someone doesn't want any risk.
Okay, so that's more like a neutral conservative, like that's more like no risk.
You're conservative with your money. You don't want any loss. You don't want any loss. And it's also life insurance. It's also great because you have that life insurance aspect of it as well. And a lot of people, we can get into this, like at another time with more details on life insurance. But life insurance can act as a supplemental retirement fund as well.
Well, let's talk about it now because that's what I have with you. So let's unpack that. So to the people listening, so what about a life insurance policy that you can add supplement income? Can you break that down so people understand?
Yes. So a lot of people think life insurance is just if I die, I'm going to get money, right? Not the case. That's called term insurance. That's called term life insurance. There is a expiration date. So think of it as car insurance, right? Okay. It only is going to come into play for you if something happens, if you get in an accident. So with term insurance, it's only going to pay out if you die, right?
Right. Okay, so that's term insurance.
That's term. And there's a term. So it's either 10 years, 20 years, 25 to 30, right? Most people do term. I'll say that.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know about the other options. And term is when people think of life insurance, they think of that. But the problem with that is, or I should say, an issue can come up is that you get it. Let's say you're, how old are you, Eric?
34.
34, right? You do 30 years at the most. At 64, you're not going to have any life insurance, right?
Right.
So it expired, and you paid all that money into a life insurance policy, and you outlived it, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So from the last time I checked, statistics show that only 2% of term life insurance policies get paid out because most people outlive their insurance.
Okay. Yeah. So you spend all that money and then you don't get nothing out of it.
And it could have been like, let's say it was cheap. It was like $20, $50 a month, but still 50 times 12 times, how many years? Yes.
It's money. Yeah.
So then there's whole life insurance. There's index universal life insurance. So let's talk about index universal life because that's what you have. So index universal life is kind of like a hybrid, right? So it has the permanent or the death benefit. So that's what whoever your family is going to get when, something happens.
Yeah.
And a savings plan, it can be. So it's like two buckets, right? So depending on your age, depending on your health, there's so many factors in it. The underwriting goes through. Your premium is going to go, some of it's going to go into the cost of insurance, and the other is going to go into that other bucket, that savings bucket. And in that's basically your cash, right? So that's like, it's called, eventually you're going to have cash value. It's going to grow in the market, but it's going to mirror the market, like I said, because it's an indexed account. And you're going to be able to save money in there at a certain rate of return, right? And it's going to depend on the market, but it's not invested in the market, if that makes sense.
So say, for instance, not say, because this year, the market is a little off. Let's say we have a good year, right? And the market does really
the market
well.
was great in 2020, right?
Right. Just say it does well in, right? And so how much more can I make off if the market does well? Is it like 6%, 7%? How does that work?
Averages out. So every year so keep in mind, it's a long-term plan.
Yeah.
Right? It's a long-term plan. You're not going to make money next year, right?
Right.
So you want to leave it in there for like at least 10 to 15 years if you're going to access that money. So through the years, it's going to average out. So 2020 was a great year. This year hasn't been great. It's going to like an average.
But either or, I'm not going to lose no money that I'm giving to the market if it goes low, is what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not going to lose out on money.
You're always going to have that floor that I spoke about. So even if the market crashes, you're going to still have what you have in there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
if the market goes up 50% though, so this is what the cap rate is. If it goes up 50%, you're not going to capture 50. You're going to capture the cap rate, whatever that plan is. Like everything's different. Every plan is different.
So whatever you say your cap rate is within your plan of your universal life insurance.
There's a limit to what you can capture. So you can't capture the whole 30. You're going to maybe get 15.
Okay. That's fine.
But on an average, you're going to get more than what you might get at a bank. Definitely you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because right now it's like 0.0, you're going to make 30 cents at Chase every month, on your money. So, yeah.
That makes sense. So basically you're saying, do you recommend that everybody should have universal life insurance? Do you think it's a must have?
Index universal life. So not everyone can qualify.
Okay. So what's the qualifications?
Health is number one, because it's a life insurance policy, right? You're a healthy guy, you qualified, so or certain health issues, maybe age. Not everyone. I mean, if you're older, your health is more at risk, right? What else? Income, you have to be able to afford it.
Yes.
So that's another stipulation.
What's the minimum to get into that?
Sorry, you cut out a little. You froze. So what did you say?
I said, what's the income you need to generate to kind of like at the least to kind of be a part of the discussion to even invest your money?
It varies. I mean, if you're young, you can get something for $50 a month, if you're really young, because if you're older, your health is, your mortality is different. So you're going to be more expensive. I should say your cost of insurance is more expensive as every year goes by. So a lot of people, I encourage when you have a newborn baby to get them and it's a lot of people can't wrap their brain around having life insurance on their child, but it's a savings plan. By the time they're 18, they could have, depending on how they fund the account, it could be $50,000. And this is the best thing about it is it's tax free. It grows tax free.
Tax shelter.
Yeah. Tax shelter because it's under the tax code of a life insurance policy. So it's a 7702 IRS code.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's the beauty of it.
So basically everyone has you said everyone has whole life insurance, right?
No. What do you mean by everyone?
I'm talking about saying you said when you get life insurance, the number one insurance that you use.
Term. A lot of people have term.
Everybody have term, but the thing with term, it only on the back end of it, usually 2% of people get paid out, right? You're saying?
Well, a lot of people outlive it.
They outlive their term, right? Okay, so then they don't even get no benefits of the money they was investing.
And they've already paid out all that money. They don't get back. Just like car insurance, you only use it, you only get it, or it's only beneficial when an accident happens, right?
Right.
Like what else? Right.
Right. So now, so then, but universal life insurance, you can potentially make money if you qualify, right?
Well, you have to qualify for both,
Okay.
even term.
You got to qualify for life insurance in general.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But so at what age should people think about universal life insurance?
So it's
Oh,
so there is universal, but this is an index universal life. I mean, any like age really, if you can qualify. So it depends. I mean, even if you're in your 50s, 60s, you can. It's just more expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing I want people to kind of take in and listen to is like, where should I put my money? If I
Right.
have $5,000 right now
Mm-hmm.
saved, right? My always had this idea. I do it every year. It's like I save $100 a week, right?
Right.
It's 52 weeks in a year, so I end up with $5,200, right?
Right.
It's not a lot of money, but it's enough.
Yes.
Where should I put this money? Like, oh, I want to go in the
Mm-hmm.
stock market. I want to go to crypto. But this is all coming from what I think,
Right.
not what I know.
Right.
So I'm trying to understand from your perspective
Mm-hmm.
to make more money. And I don't have to make it right now. I can make it 10 years from now.
Right.
But
So right. So
yeah.
in your case, so everyone's different, obviously. You want to diversify. That's like the key word. Everyone says you have
Okay.
to diversify. You have to fund maybe the short term. So I like to say you need a short term, mid-term, and long-term fund, right? Or
Okay.
plan, right? So
Okay.
short term is 1 to 5 years. Mid-term would be, after that, 5 to 10 years or 5 to 7 years. And then 10 to 15 years is a long-term plan, right? So that's a retirement plan at least. You have fund each one. You want to fund the first one first because the emergency plan is probably the most important. You need to be able to, have that fund already in place, and then you have extra money to diversify into. Maybe 5 to 7 is like a mutual fund, right?
Yeah. Okay. 5 to 7 is a mutual fund. Okay.
It could be like a mutual fund. Your money is still accessible, but it's going to grow, and it's not so risky as much as a stock, right? So a mutual fund is a group of stocks.
Okay.
So, so you can have one stock might go down, one stock might go up. So then you get the average. So it's not as risky.
Okay.
Right?
Mutual funds.
Yes. Mutual funds. And that's great if you don't have a lot of money, to invest because you can maybe put $100 a month into a mutual fund.
Oh, hold on. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
$100 a month.
You don't
to a mutual fund.
Right. You don't even need, there's no minimum is what I'm saying.
So it's no minimum.
Yeah. Certain companies do have minimum. So I should say that. And then you have 5 to 10 10 to whatever in a long-term plan, and that's retirement. That might be the index universal life policy. That might be a 401k or, that type of fund, Yeah. You can't access it right now. So it's locked up. Got it.
So let's move into so we know that the mutual fund is more like, that's what, 5 to 7 years you were saying?
Mm-hmm. Right. So that could be a goal of let's say you want to buy a house, in the near future, but not right away.
Right. Okay. So mutual funds, I will invest my money in that. And then universal life insurance, right, is more long-term, correct?
Yes.
Got it. So the next question.
It's a retirement plan.
Is a retirement plan. So you want some type of mutual fund if you can, and you want a retirement plan.
Or you can do also variable to index annuities. There's so many other options. I should say,
I just want to keep it simple for the people. I don't want to overwhelm. I just want to give stuff that they can So now let's talk about 401ks, because a lot of people have invested in their 401k from their job, corporation, company. Mm-hmm. I remember working at Abercrombie and Fitch, and they were back in my 401k 50%. After a year working, you get the benefits. Mm-hmm. How do you maximize a 401k? Can you maximize a 401k? How does that work?
You can. So it depends. A company will match you, right? Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, or a lot of companies don't. But let's just say they match you 3%. That's kind of like the general rule. So I would only do 3% because you're getting money on your return. So it's like 100% match, right? So you put 3% in, they're matching you. So that's great.
Yeah.
The caveat would be it's a retirement fund. So you can't touch it till you're 59 and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Or there's penalties. You can, but there's going to be penalties. And then it's also tax deferred, right? You haven't paid taxes. They're deferred. You might have saved some on taxes, but in the end, when you start withdrawing it, that's when it's taxed.
Got it. Yeah. I've been there before.
So,
tax me, baby.
right. But it's the lump sum, right? So it's like your nest egg. So you're going to get taxed on the nest. So you're probably going to save, let's just hypothetically say, 50,000 in taxes, but when the lump sum is there, let's just say it's like 500,000 now. You're now being taxed on it, so you're going to probably lose 300,000 depending on your tax bracket. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yes. So Uncle Sam wants their money at the end, right? So they're going to take their money.
Uncle?
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know. And you know what, honestly, I sit down with so many clients and they don't know how to 401k. And quite honestly, I didn't either back in the day, you know? So to, you know, get it explained that way, you know, wouldn't you rather just save on taxes and maybe put your money into something that's beneficial and it has a tax shelter? So we kind of show that. Yeah.
So we got universal life insurance, retirement. We got mutual funds for the short term.
Yeah.
We have 401ks that most people can relate to or understand.
Right.
But when we talk about a Roth IRA and the benefits of having a Roth, I have a Roth.
Okay.
3 years is to put $500 a month to go in because you only can. I think it's the max
6,000.
Like 6,000. Yeah, you only can put 6,000 in a year. But what's the benefits of a Roth over a 401k?
Well, not everyone can qualify for a Roth.
Oh, that's qualifications for the Roth?
No, not everyone can qualify for a Roth.
I thought anyone could have a Roth, no?
No, if you make too much money, you can't have a Roth. So there are rules to a Roth. A Roth's great if you can get it, you know. You maximize it, it's 6,000 a month. There is that income.
For the year, you mean 6,000 a year?
No, it's 6,000 a year, or you can do 500 a month, right?
Right.
I would say do 500 a month.
Right.
Because then the benefit of dollar cost averaging, that's what it's called if you do it that way, because then let's just say, because the Roth is in the market, right?
Yes.
So if you do $6,000 in 1 month, or let's say in one payment, the next day the market crashes.
Oh yeah, you told me that. You actually told me that.
Yes. So it's better to fund it monthly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, what if I want to put 5,000? He's like, oh no, you don't want to do that because if it goes down tomorrow. See, I didn't know that. I'm thinking like, well, I got all this money, and it's interesting because I tell people the reason I wanted people to do the challenge because I know if you can save $250 in 10 weeks, you can put $25 to $50 a month in a Roth IRA because I started saving $50 a month when I wasn't barely making any money.
Right.
But I was building my habits of being consistent with the Roth IRA.
Right. And you hit it right there. You hit it on the head. It's habits. It's habits. Like you have to get into those habits of saving and investing and then just, you know, learning. You have to be open to learning the ways of like what? If you want to make money or money on your money, you have to learn and you have to read books. You have to go to classes or, you know, just.
And you got to be patient.
What?
You have to be patient too, I've learned.
Oh, yeah. You have to be patient. There's no, you know, I mean, yes, if you gamble, that's a different situation. You can make money, but it's a gamble, right? It's high risk. And if you can afford to gamble, that's like crypto, stocks, NFTs, all this other stuff that's going on, which, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying there are gambles.
Gambles, right.
Yeah.
And you got to know what you're gambling on.
Exactly.
So, Roth IRA.
So Roth, I will say, is tax-free. So that's a major great thing about it. It is going to be tax-free when you withdraw from it. It's different than a traditional IRA. So, right?
So Ross, people, you hear that? Look up a Roth IRA,
Yeah.
Google it, do some research.
Yes.
So we talked about like universal life insurance, mutual funds, 401ks, Roth
Yeah.
IRAs. Let's get into the discussion of the wealthy.
Okay.
Where do the wealthy put their money? And
Wealthy,
how are they
yes.
making money? Like what?
Okay, so it depends. It depends on the individual.
Yeah.
But I will say we have the, like, let's just say the Rockefellers of the world and
Yeah.
Warren Buffetts of the world. They do believe in life insurance because it is a tool to pass on generational wealth.
Okay, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So they have used that, and that is what we educate people on, and that is one of the ways the wealthy do it. Obviously there are so many other ways, but that's a major part of it.
And what's the average age that people start opening up life insurance policies from that world? I would say the wealthy. If you have a wealthy dad and mom who's maybe in their 60s, their son is 17, maybe they get them invested at 19. When does that really start for them? Or is it when they're kids? How do they set their family up?
Yeah, it can be when they're newborn.
Wow.
Newborn. Yeah. I have encouraged a lot of my clients to just, hey, start a new, and quite honestly, I have kids,
Yeah.
and I had wished I had known back then. They have their own policies, but I wish I started them sooner.
Yeah.
Because then they have this account growing and they have access to tax-free money. Like they could have, had all this money by the time they're 18, or to even pay for their own college or whatever it is.
Yeah, because I have clients who been saving. I have a client, his dad's been saving money since he was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's 18, like the
Right.
kid's tuition is already paid for because over this span of 18 years,
yeah,
he's been investing in his fund for his child.
Right.
And I think that's the importance of having a Roth IRA, a savings account, an investment account. Yeah, you want to put the money, but it builds like the mentality, right? To be disciplined over time.
Right.
And then when you build that discipline, you're able to kind of have more discipline within yourself with your money.
Right.
I say $50 a month. It's not a lot of money. But if I do it for 5 years, you do the math. Now I know, I did this for 5 years. Now I know I can do $1,000 a month.
Right. Exactly.
My income increases because I'm building the habits. And that's what I want to teach people, is building healthy habits around financial literacy, around their relationship with money. Because, growing up in the inner city of Baltimore, we want everything quick, because, scarcity mindset. You grew up in poverty. You don't really understand it. You don't know it. It doesn't make sense. So, when people don't have information, they just do what they think or what they're told, and sometimes the parents don't have the information. And that's why it's people like you who helped me understand. Like, I think like 2 years or a year before I wanted to go invest in some property back home in Baltimore, all the books you gave me helped me not only improve my credit score, but also understand how money works and what I need to do to kind of benefit myself on paper.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah.
And in the market. And so it's like it's the little things that I want people to understand, take from this. It's like, listen, there's several accounts you can invest in, but we must start early. And I really want to bring the collective together, because we live in this world. It's all about the individual. Oh, I got all these followers. I got all this fame. I got all this money. I have all this success. But then the whole is suffering. Right. But if we can just say, for instance, you and I say, Annalisa, I know you're in a business with this. Say we want to build our own bank, right? A digital bank. Just say. And say your company wants to back it, but they're silent partners.
Right.
I want people to come together and say, listen, I don't have 5,000 to invest, but I have 500. Okay, cool. The pot might be 10,000. We'll take your 500. We'll take your 1,500. But together, some way, somehow, based on percentages, we can make money. I think it's important for people to get life insurance, like you said. I think if your company, or if you know of any courses, books, information from that people can go utilize right now, I would love for you to mention that and really to
Right.
really explain to people what financial literacy is, because it's such a general name and topic that we don't really understand, to be
Right.
honest.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's so much information out there. You have to just be open to learning.
yeah,
One thing it's an easy read. It's called How Money Works.
okay,
Super easy. That's a
yeah,
great book.
I read that.
Also, I think I gave that to you. And then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
also, what's another one? It's called, let me look it up. Sorry, I just had
How much works? Okay.
it's called Retirement Planning. Of course, I had it on the tip of my tongue and now I have to
Yeah.
look for it. It's by Patrick Kelly.
Okay.
It's called Retirement Planning. Here, no, I can't touch my,
It's fine.
Retirement Planning. That's in the title. Retirement Planning by Patrick Kelly. Money Works. That's
Fine. How
an
much?
easy read. It talks about a lot of concepts a lot of people need to, really focus on, compound interest, just certain terms that people need to learn.
And what is compound interest? Because I think it's very important that people know what compound interest is. It's really simple to break it down, but I want to hear from you.
Okay, so compound interest is basically, okay, I don't want to mess this up because it's a formula, right? It's a formula. It's by Albert Einstein. Basically, you take the amount of, your invest or whatever money you have, for it, basically the interest rate for it to double. So it calculates that, right?
Okay.
So we have to, let me, hold on one second. I don't want to mess it up.
No, it's fine.
So hold on one second. Because I don't want to give, I don't want the wrong example. So basically, like, for example, if you deposit $1,000 in an account,
Yes.
1% annual interest, it's going to only earn $10, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a simple example, right? For math purposes. So that's what compound interest. So do you understand?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, so with my savings challenge, with the 10 weeks, $25 a week, the goal was $250. And then my next step was like, okay, cool. Now for the next 10 months, right? Just say you're going to pay 10% interest on the money you have now.
Right.
Right. Actually, like teaching people how to build their own bank account, right?
Right.
So now 10% of 250 is what? $25.
Right.
So now you're gonna put, for the next year, you're gonna put $25 in that bucket, right? So then now that money's gonna add up. But all these little nuances and things I'm giving people is really psychological switch and shifting their paradigm, how they think about money.
Right.
So now they know, like, oh wow, it's so simple. I mean, $25. I mean, I spend it at the grocery store like
this.
Think about
your credit cards have interest, right?
Yeah.
So most of them are like in the 20%. So all that interest is being charged on you. Why not putting your money into an account that you collect the interest instead of you paying out the interest?
Yes.
Right? So
yeah.
That's where, compound interest comes into play, making your money work for you. That's exactly what it means.
Yeah, and just building more.
Earning, interest on your money.
Yeah, just building that money confidence. I think people need to have more confidence with their relationship with money, because here's the thing.
Right.
I have clients that are 7 figures or more, right? And I'm asking them questions, and they are also looking at their account just like someone who makes less. Like, oh, I just spent $2,000. I spent $1,500. Oh, I spent $5,000. I just spent $40,000. But someone on the lower tip might have just spent. They still have the same emotions, right? Or a client loses a lot of money in the stock market, it throws off their nervous system. Right. So money all has an effect on us all based on our relationship with it. But I know one thing from a general space, we're all affected when money is leaving our bank account, when we like, what happened? So I just want to give people the benefit of the doubt and say, listen, look at these accounts, follow Annalisa, get information from her, and allow her to give you insights on where you can put your money. We talk about universal life insurance, mutual funds, Roth IRA, understanding the 401k,
right.
Tax shelters, right?
Yeah.
What study the rich, read the books, how money works.
Right.
Retirement.
Think and Grow Rich is a great book.
Think and Grow Rich, right?
Yeah.
All these things is listen, don't get caught up in, saving a bunch of money. Just start really small. When you're dating someone, you just don't want to say I want to get married the first date.
Right.
I want to take you as like you want to slowly build. Okay, let's go get tea. Let's go get coffee, or maybe then we go get lunch. Then after lunch, we spend a few time. Oh, then we can go to dinner.
Right.
But break it down, make it easy, because big steps. I always say baby steps equals big walks.
Yeah.
That's true. I think it's important.
Yes. I mean, hey, it doesn't hurt. What I really recommend is to sit down with a financial professional, and it doesn't cost money, right? A lot of people don't charge. I don't charge. My company doesn't charge. We will sit down with you and do a free consultation, financial consultation, and just kind of go over things with you, and it never hurts to have a second opinion on anything. Like, even if you have an advisor, why not just sit down with someone for a second opinion, second, third, fourth opinion, it doesn't matter, and take all that information and then educate yourself, and you have a better, mindset, and you have better information so you can decide.
Yeah, and you have an alliance of people who's helping you with your money.
Right.
So
read books, like you said, all that.
So how do we get invested, or at least get some information about how can people reach out to you? Is there a website? Is it via DM? Yes. Like, where should people go and look for?
Okay, on my Instagram, I have a link tree, so it goes to all my websites. So that would be great. So it's my Instagram. What is it? Annalisa.mungcal. That's it. And then reach out to me, DM, and then we can set something up on my link tree. It's like different brackets of like how to learn financial literacy, or schedule a 15-minute Zoom call. It's like super easy, just to ask me questions. And if I don't know them, a whole slew of people I go to, with taxes. I'm not a tax expert, I'm not a CPA, but I have CPAs on my team. So we go to the CPA and ask those questions. Estate planning is a big thing. A lot of celebrities out there, you think they have their stuff together, but they don't. Prince died.
And what is estate planning? What is that actually? What is that? Estate planning?
Trust wills. Your estate is intact when you pass. Your homes, whatever. So for instance, Prince passed away without an estate plan, without a will, without anything. So I don't remember the exact figures, but it was close to like 500 million. Right? Damn. Yeah.
What?
Went to probate. And the key, and the sticky thing was he doesn't have an heir. He didn't have an heir. So he didn't have he didn't have any kids. He didn't have an heir for that money to go to. He didn't have estate planning done, which entertainers, a lot of people don't, so that's one thing you need to do. That's the number one thing to do.
And what's the best account someone can have to protect their money?
Well, okay, so obviously it depends, but it depends on their estate, right? Okay. So definitely a trust and a will is the basic. So
those two different things, the trust and the will.
Totally different things.
Okay.
A will is just, very simple. Trust is, let's say you have multiple properties, you need a trust. Within that can come in with life insurance also, there's so many different hybrids of ways to do it to also avoid estate taxes.
Hey,
so,
taxes. I love that.
So it's
so people look it up.
Things. Yeah.
So reach information to better your situation. Before we leave, it's Financial Friday,
Yes,
Annalisa. So
it
give
is.
us a fun fact or fun tip for financial advice, because it's Financial Friday, to leave people with to think
Okay.
about the benefit of them.
Say it again. You cut out. What'd you say?
I said it's Financial Friday, so I would love a financial fact or tip
A
to
tip.
help people that they can utilize for this week.
Okay, so my right now with everything going on is you need to outpace inflation and learn how to do that. That's one thing for sure because you're losing money if you don't, right?
Right. Yeah.
Outpace inflation. What does that mean? Something that is what is inflation right now? It's probably 6.5%, almost 7%. It's gonna
Yeah.
go up. So it's great if you can educate yourself, sit down with someone, a financial professional, and learn what to do. You know, just educate yourself is
Educate.
the main thing. Educate yourself. Financial literacy is a huge thing that people have not done, and
Yes.
you'd be surprised even if they have money. They
Yeah.
don't know a
Trust me.
lot of
I
the stuff.
know. You make all this money, and you're like, yo, where did my money go? 'Cause I
Right,
can't manage it, or where do I put it, right?
right,
And I think
exactly.
there's people that can make it, but they don't know how to manage it or invest it. So
Hmm.
that's why we need the Annalises of the world and financial advisors and professionals to help us grow.
Hmm. Exactly.
Hey, so Annalisa, I just want to say thank you for your time and your
Thank you.
insights. This was amazing. And we appreciate you. Everyone follow her and get some
Yeah.
financial advice. DM her, go to her link tree, tap the link tree, look at her website, and become financial savvy like she
Right.
is, and get more insight and education to change your relationship with
Ah,
money. This was
exactly.
good. This was
Your
great.
mindset, right?
Yeah.
So
Thank
thank
you.
you
Have
so
a
much for
good
having me.
day. Good weekend. Yes, no problem. You're welcome. And this was great. Thanks
Okay.
again.
Awesome.
Peace and love. Woosah. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. That was good. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you took something from there. And yeah, people, let's really get in tune with our money. And we all have money struggles. I've had them in the past, and mismanaging, overspending, not understanding. And I've read multiple books. So, Total Money Master the Game by Tony of Money is really good as well. Think and Grow Rich, like she said. But let's normalize a conversation around our financial well-being, because it's important. It affects our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, and our physical health. So get uncomfortable to get comfortable in the money sector. And I just want you guys to do better, and you will when you get the information. Have a good one. Another Bigger Talks IG Live edition. Subscribe to the podcast. Give me some feedback. If you liked it, comment. But let's get our money up, and let's learn money round. Peace, love.